Hey, this is Zach Peak.
Hey, this is Pat Dorian.
Hey, this is Drew Ron.
It's Anthony Video.
You're listening to the Talking Birdie podcast.
Fly ball left field. Nate McClouth is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Goins. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead. With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
What's going on, everybody? It's episode 27 of the Talking Birdie podcast. It's a special Saturday night episode. Josh is back from his trip. The lockout is over, and we are vibing on a Saturday night. Josh, Brad, how are you guys doing? Again, the lockout is over. I'm pretty pumped about it.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, there's nothing like sitting in a random barbecue joint in Carlsbad, New Mexico, watching Manfred give his speech on the lockout being over. And they had MLB Network in full view while I was eating a sandwich called the Notorious PIG. It's a great pulled pork sandwich, but the trip went good. I was a little nervous for the plane rides, but it ended up being okay. It was a little rough descent today coming back into Detroit, but it was a good trip. I don't get the hype about Texas, though. A lot of people moving down there.
Dude. I saw that. You're not a Texas fan, huh?
Not a huge Texas guy. Like, I don't get the hype. Like, Austin was really cool. Like, a lot of people talk good about Austin. It was really cool city. A lot of young people all just out walking around. It's kind of how Boston was, but like cleaner and newer buildings and everything.
You thought Texas was cleaner than Boston?
I thought Austin, Texas was cleaner than Boston.
So the crazy thing is, and some people might not like me saying this, but when I went up and visited Boston a few years ago, I kind of thought of that as a cleaner version of Baltimore.
That's probably about accurate. But driving between cities in Texas, man, there's nothing. It's flat. It's no trees. Sure, yeah. It's just dirt and like wind. And it wasn't very interesting. I like a good drive, driving through PA. I get some hills. That's my thing. But the parks were really cool. We went to Guadalupe. We went to Big Bend. Those were awesome national parks. Did a few hikes. And it was a good trip.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh, yeah,
so
man.
what? So I mean, it was just the fact that when you were driving, there was nothing in between that you didn't like about Texas.
Nothing, dude. We drove for 8 hours. We saw 3 places to get gas. We went from east to west. We saw 3 places to get gas and maybe pass like a car every like 15 minutes. That's it.
I've been in some scary situations before where I passed a gas station thinking I'm coming up on one soon when I was relatively low, and then I don't come across one for a long ass time, and I really cut it close. So I kind of get where you're coming from with that.
We got down to like 5 miles left on a tank, and we finally found one. So that was huge.
Yeah. And I'm familiar with long ass drives across nothingness because I've driven across Kansas to Colorado plenty of times before. So I know where you're coming from with that. Well, once you get to Colorado, it's gorgeous.
Right. Rockies.
Yep.
Ryan, how you doing, sir?
Fantastic. I didn't have to work today. I've worked the last 2 Saturdays. It was a good ass day. Yeah. I went hung out with my parents. Just a good day. It's a good weekend. The lockout ended. As we said, we don't have to see any more super profound pieces of art on Twitter of a ball and bat and chains. That got old about the second time that I saw it. It's over. It's finally over. We have opening day on the 11th. Josh and I will be there for sure. So come and say what's up to us.
99.9% be there too. I always buy tickets on the last day for sporting events.
Brad doesn't have tickets yet. That's the only reason I didn't say. I said that he won't be there for sure.
Tough, man. You're gonna be able to find a ticket last minute on opening day.
Yes, dude.
Yes,
You don't understand how third party ticket markets work, dude.
Okay.
I go to NFL sold out NFL games, sold out college basketball games all the time. People sell their tickets at the last minute, and the longer you wait, the lower they drop their price. So that's why I'm waiting.
Because if the game's starting in 20 minutes, they'd rather get some money for their ticket than no money for their ticket. So he is right. It's not something I wanted to do. I wanted to secure it just because Josh is driving in from Cleveland. So, having it secured is a good thing. But yeah, I mean, we should all be there. And if you guys want to hit us up, we'll say what's up to you while we're there. But all in all, everyone's just excited right now because, before we actually start getting into it, I do have to be annoying and I have to plug our YouTube channel, youtube.com/ is it just /Talking Birdie, Josh?
I think so.
Okay.
It might be different because YouTube's weird. I know like Instagram works like that, but either way, just search Talking Birdie on YouTube. Talking Birdie Orioles podcast.
We're going to do a live experiment right now. I'm going to type in youtube.com/Talking Birdie in my browser, and we're going to see what happens.
There is another Talking Birdie podcast that does the Atlanta Falcons.
Don't type in youtube.com/Talking Birdie because you will get a 404 error. So just go to YouTube, search it, you will find us. Sub on there if you can. And follow us on Twitter, obviously, at Podcast Birdie. And we have a Facebook page too. We need to get better about using it. I'm going to leave that to Boomer Brad.
But for the record, nobody asked me how I was doing. I just wanted to let you guys know.
You started taking a drink, so I was like, Ryan, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, too. Dude, come on, man. I was ready to go.
All right, Brad, how you doing?
Dude, not too bad, man. It's been a wild last week or so. I actually went under the knife on Monday, got my ass knocked out. They sliced my neck open, removed a lump from my neck. It was pretty gnarly. And actually,
did they give it to you in a jar to keep it?
They didn't. But it was great and honestly pretty painless because I was out the whole time and they gave me prescription meds. But I was like, actually, when I went to get my wisdom teeth out when I was younger, that was so much worse than this was. So
it sounds like my Texas trip.
Right. And then as I've told you guys, I'm all caught up on fucking basketball conference tournaments. I'm not going to get too much into it right now because it's a fucking baseball podcast. But oh my god, I love watching the little dude at UMBC play this week. 5'2", shortest player in D1 history. He's fucking out there breaking ankles, draining threes. Fucking coolest shit ever, dude.
It's because he's got the lowest center of gravity of anybody.
I know, but unfortunately, UMBC got knocked out today. I mean, obviously, I'm a KU guy, but it was good to see the local teams do well. They almost made it, but they got knocked out by the better team today.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Boy. Yep.
Shout out Darnell.
I love Darnell. Long live Darnell Rogers, the shortest player in Division I basketball history. I strongly suggest you guys, if you have any inkling of interest in basketball, check this guy out because it's half hilarious and half, oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen.
You were freaking out in our group chat. You were just sending pictures of him courtside. You were just like, this little dude's like carving him up. I
couldn't believe it, man. It was so fucking sick. Like, as a KU guy, man, I've watched a lot of big time college basketball, Power 5 basketball up close, seen a lot of NBA talented players, and it's really fucking cool seeing really talented players up close. But I've never gotten more joy than I have seeing a guy that looks like a fucking 10-year-old carving up D1 players and making them look silly. But too bad he's a senior. His career's over. So
I have to just mention this before before we move on. When I was having dinner with my parents and my mom was like, so I listened to one of you guys' interviews. I believe she was talking about Drew Roms, and she told me to stop telling minor league baseball players to curse on our podcast. She was like, they have an image to uphold. You need to not tell them to use foul language. It's like, okay, Ma.
We'll just get them talking about politics next time.
Yeah. Ask how they feel about what's going on in the Ukraine.
Oh my God.
Are you a pro-Putin enthusiast?
Yeah.
Sorry, Patrick, that wasn't a clear answer.
Sorry, Zach. I know we've been talking about baseball, but I would like to get your takes on gay marriage. How do you feel about that?
Oh, mercy.
But anyways, we had a little off the rails there. We're all happy. It's a good Saturday evening. We're all stoked. But a
It's
couple
Thursday
things
when you listen to this, though.
Yeah, it'll be Thursday when you listen to this. Sorry, we're in the future, in the past. We're in the past.
We're in the
Technically, we're in the present. To explain to people how this works, we're in the present right now, but you know,
the listeners are in the future.
But when you listen to it, we will be in the past, or I guess I don't know. Just fuck it. Just go on.
Tipsy Brad has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so much fun right now. We don't normally record on Saturday nights, but you're getting a real treat right now.
Oh, well, the lockout's over and Josh is back from Texas, and we didn't do an episode this week, so we gotta do something.
Josh doesn't even like Texas, dude. He's a fucking.
That's got to be the clip for this week. Josh doesn't even like Texas.
He hates it, bro. I saw him trashing it all on Twitter, all over the place.
I did trash it. And so an Orioles fan who did live in Texas for most of her life, like swiped up or not swiped up, but replied and was like, really? I think there's a lot of fun stuff to do in Texas. I was like, I'm sure there is. But
Josh was walking around Austin like horns down, bro.
I saw I don't know who it was, but I saw someone reply to you, bro. You literally live in Ohio.
Yeah.
It's so true. So true.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Speaking of that, did you guys see that college baseball player? I think he plays for Texas State or something, and he rung up this guy from Texas to end the game. And he was like so fired up on the mound. He like did this like big fist pump, and then he turned towards the Texas dugout and just like gave him the horns down.
I love it.
It was so awesome.
Did not see that.
It was
he
cool.
probably got in trouble for it too, to be honest with you, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Which again, trying not to stray too far from the baseball topic, but I saw basketball wise, a couple Kent State players got suspended for saying fuck Akron. They were rapping fuck Akron to a song that was called fuck Akron because they were supposed to play him in their conference championship tournament game. That's the softest bullshit I've ever fucking seen, dude. Keep that shit out of sports.
I did check, and that song does not exist.
This one.
No, I did. I fucking checked and I saw a YouTube video for it.
Oh, I didn't see it on Spotify.
Yeah.
I hope my mom doesn't listen to this one.
Go Zips.
It looks like the Zips ended up beating them though, so they got the best of them. Yep.
That's tough. It's tough when you do that.
Tough scene. Yep.
Yeah, hate that for them. So, yeah, some things we've been talking about doing here. We kind of wanted to start doing especially as the season gets rolling and there's constantly content rolling in for us to talk about. We wanted to do like at the end of every month, maybe just the last Thursday of every month during the season. We're going to try to do like a Q&A episode. We haven't fully decided how we're going to set this up and take the questions for it, but I think we're going to do like a pin tweet every month. So you would just, if you wanted to ask a question that you wanted answered on the show, it can be serious, it can be not serious. I don't care. You would just go to that pin tweet, hit your reply, and then the day we record, we just pull it up, read them off, answer them on the fly. So we're going to do a poll probably sometime, I guess when this episode comes out, we'll probably put it up on the show, on the Twitter page, just to gauge interest. Give us a vote. Tell us what you think. If Q&A sounds like something you guys would be interested in, then we'll definitely do it. If not, you can, our feelings won't be hurt, but we'd rather not do it if it's not something you guys wanted to actually participate in. So keep an eye out for that next week. When this comes out, we'll probably pin it, retweet it, ask you guys to retweet it as well, just to get some more engagement on it. But anything you guys want to add to the Q&A thing?
I think we're good. I mean, we talked about this earlier. The second half of our shows is probably going to be dedicated to more discussional type topic, more conversational about like O's, whatever it's strategy or position needs or maybe trade deadline stuff or whatever it is. But if you guys have anything you want to like have us maybe gear towards for that second half, that'd be perfect. I mean, more people, more opinions, more takes. So that's all.
I would also love to start doing the show live. So let us know if that's something you guys would be interested in too. We could set up like a Twitch channel or something. I feel like it'd be really fun to have viewer engagement live. Every podcast I've ever listened to that's done it live there's always funny, goofy shit that happens. So yeah, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in as well. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that next week. Moving on here. It's almost giveaway time again, friends. We decided that we were going to, whenever opening day happened, we'd be doing a opening day giveaway to celebrate. And this giveaway, I'm not going to fully reveal it yet, tease it a little bit here, but it'll be another retweet, follow type of giveaway. You know how these things go. But it involves a certain top prospect.
May or may not be the best prospect in baseball.
He may or may not be. That remains to be seen, but he's a certain top prospect in a certain organization that happens to play their home games in the city of Baltimore. So
we may or may not have a podcast about him.
Yeah.
Yes.
He might play catcher.
He could play catcher. That's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
He could also spend some off days when lesser known prospect pitchers are pitching, playing first base. That could also be a thing that happens sometimes.
It might be. Yeah.
This is all a big might.
This DJ Stewart giveaway is about to be fire.
Oh, good call, bro.
Yep. So we will reveal that again in due time, maybe in a week or two. But yeah, there's gonna be another giveaway coming up, so keep your eyes out for that. As we said, the lockout's over. The players and the owners finally came to an agreement, even though the New York Mets did their best job to derail that. Looking at you, Max Scherzer, you $40-some million a year dickhead. How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel finding? I mean, Josh, you said you were sitting somewhere having lunch when you found out the lockout was over. I was taking a dump. It was pretty nice. Got home from work and, had to handle things, and then it happened. I think all in all, a lot of good things came out of this new deal. I think the players, even though I think they lost a lot of their public favor and goodwill towards the end with the way that they kind of seemed to drag things on, they did some good work. I think they did a good job to get, the universal DH. I don't care what you think about that. It's pitchers batting is not good for baseball. We got
it's a fact. It's a fact, not an opinion, right?
It is a fact. I don't care what you say. You can't change my mind. I'll die on that hill. All of the stereotypes are not stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're back to 9-inning doubleheaders. No more ghost runners on second and extra innings. So all those silly, quirky rules that they put in.
Honestly, that was my biggest takeaway from it. That was the biggest thing that surprised me. I thought they were going to stick with all that shit. So
yeah. I wasn't even actually, that part of it wasn't even in my mind. It seemed like the negotiations were just constantly getting hung up on what the luxury tax threshold was and how much pre-arbitration bonus pool money there was, which it seems weird that that's what they hung up on. Cause it's the players, they kind of champion themselves going into this as like, the union fighting for the little guy and, taking care of players that haven't gotten their money yet. And, they ran on this, I'm going to say ran, sounds like a political campaign, but like they always say, they talked up how much they wanted conditions to change for minor leaguers in this new CBA. And I guess something could still come out about it, but I didn't hear anything about anything changing for the minor leagues in this CBA. So, I mean, was that all bullshit to get public favor? I don't want to sound like a owner fucking bootlicker here, because I'm not. They're, the billionaires, and nobody needs to feel sorry for them. But it's just, I don't know. I don't even try. I'm not trying to put a damper on this because it's
I mean,
all good.
You're talking yourself out of this.
Honestly,
I know.
For me, we've kind of noted on here before that even the minimum wage MLB players, they're making out a lot better than the average individual. But the minor leaguer, that's the guy who's hurting a little bit, and they possess a skill set, even in the lowest levels of the minors, that is very rare, and that you can't just find it off the streets. So even the fucking rookie league guys should be paid more than they're getting. But even when you level up, they're still getting paid bullshit. So that's pretty much, we've been in full agreement across this podcast that that's the number one thing that needs to get worked out. And doesn't sound like there's going to be too much of a difference with that, but
no,
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you guys make good points. I'm very pro player, so yes, I'm biased, but just remember the owners didn't come to the negotiating table for 42 days. Literally nothing got done. I know we're not losing games now, but the way that the public image of all this was handled was so unnecessary and so toxic for a sport that's like losing its casual fans on like a yearly basis, and they claim is dying. It's not as severe as I think they make it out to be, but where, the game's too long and everything. We won't spend too much time on the details, but this did come down to the MLB fighting for those players who maybe stick around for a couple of years and get dumped as soon as they hit free agency, but then maximizing the amount of money they can have in their short playing careers. Because like Brad said, these guys get $500K a year, but some of them only work 1 or 2 years under that salary. After taxes, they end up with like less than a lifetime worth of work for something that they have dedicated their entire life to that point to get. So, I mean, I guess it's good because they got the inflation adjustments in there the way they wanted, and minimum salary went up. So that's good. But like you guys said, no minor league improvements. That can always be negotiated during the year. But I mean, I didn't see a very strong push for it in this negotiation, and just hopefully more people.
Anything.
No,
yeah.
Just hoping more people kind of wake up to it. I think it's pretty out there now, especially these last 2 years. People have really been reading about it, and more things have been coming out. Players have been more vocal, which is always huge. But I don't know. Keep fighting that fight. That to me is more important than anything with these minimum salaries, things like that. Because how many players don't make the major leagues? Like 85% of them, something like that.
Yeah, probably something like that.
And those are the guys that work their entire lives for it to not get that 1 year of $500K. They will go $50K until they're 30 years old, and then they have no education, no relevant job experience, and they are out in the workforce with essentially no savings. So get those guys some money.
I'm going to be real about something, though. I'm not sure how much the players union has control over guys that are beyond the 40-man roster. So I'm not sure how much of a role that played.
No, you're probably right. I don't know how much they could have really done about that, but it seemed odd to me that they, going into all this, they talked themselves up as fighting for the little guys, and then like nothing happened for the minors. That was just the only point I was trying to make. I'm glad it got done, even like I said, against the best efforts of the New York Mets. I'm just glad it got done, and we got baseball again. We always had
62.
baseball. We always had baseball. I know someone's going to say, what about the minor leagues? I know we always had baseball, but this is important for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, you guys kind of know how my stance has been on the rebuild for the last couple of years. Have been way more heavily minor league focused, while following specific major leaguers like Mountcastle, Mullins, the guys that matter a little bit more to a certain extent. And I would have been fine for a month or two following just the minors if it came down to it. I plan on going to the Bay Sox opening day, by the way. I'm sorry if I just misspoke there.
Josh, anyway. If you don't clip that, you have failed all of us. Just saying.
Oh, I never miss.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's clutch. He never misses. I plan on going to the Bay Sox opening day, April 8th. You guys are invited, by the way. That's an open invitation. Josh, you live in Ohio, so this is really more of an invitation for either of you that happen to live in Maryland. If you don't, then don't worry about it.
Make it a weekend, Josh. Come down on the 8th. Make it a weekend.
It is a Friday.
Yeah.
anybody listening in, come on out to the Bay Sox opening day, April 8th.
Yes.
But the Orioles will be officially opening up 3 days later, April 11th on Monday.
Well, no, they officially open the same day. They're just in Tampa.
Actually, I didn't know that. I'm learning something new right now.
Yep. They open the same day. So Bay Sox and O's open up on the same day. That's going to be a fun day.
Okay. All right.
But they are down in St. Pete playing the Rays for a weekend series, and then they will come home and play the Brewers on April 11th, and that will be our opening day.
Future Oriole Luis Urias in the game.
Taking notes, idiot Orioles podcaster Brad Wandell did not know when first game was. Okay. Yep. Yeah. But anyway, so the Orioles play April 8th, and that should be a fun time. Bay Sox open the same day. So cool.
Brad,
We're not going to that one.
You got to change your Twitter bio to idiot Orioles podcaster.
Yep.
I might go. Shit, I might go. Well, actually, no, I can't because it's a Friday.
Bay Sox is going to be fun this year, man.
Is it a day game, Brad? It's probably a day game.
No, I'm sure it's a night game. Minor leagues, even on opening day, typically open at night.
Google is my friend. I'll find out really quick.
Especially on a Friday, dude. They're open at night.
Yeah, I know. I mean, your point is quite valid, sir. I just want to look. April 8th.
I've been to a couple of minor league opening days and there were night games, so I assume this one is too.
Don't you want to see that Cesar Prieto pro debut?
Yes, dude.
Okay, that did not give me any info at all.
I'm pretty sure it's a night game. We're gonna go with that.
Schedule. Somebody who knows is like yelling at their speaker right now. It's a fucking night game. Jesus.
I'm calling it a night game, and
it's always a night game on the first Saturday of every year,
right?
Of every season.
If anybody has a problem with that, I'm putting my money on the line right here. If anybody has a problem with that,
no, you gambling addict. Stop.
You can talk shit about us on Twitter. Okay, there we go.
Oh, wait. We have confirmation. Friday, April 8th, Richmond Flying Squirrels at Bowie Bay Sox, 7:05 p.m.
Suck it, haters. Whoever was ready to talk shit to me, you can't. So
don't talk shit to me because I'm like, oh, it's a day game.
Well,
do you have tickets already? Probably not, right?
No, I'm probably gonna show up. I'm not gonna buy the season tickets when I show up.
Okay. Are you getting two?
Huh?
Do you get two season tickets or you just get one for yourself?
Well, so how it works is you can buy either. So they sell vouchers, right?
Yeah.
So you can buy vouchers either like in 8 or in 16, and I'll probably get 16. And if I run out, then I'll buy more. So how that works is you can show up if you want to go by yourself. You can trade in any game. You show up, give them the voucher. They'll give you one ticket. You show up with multiple people. You give them however many tickets you want that day. So you can either use one any given game if it's just you, or you can use multiple if you show up with other people. And then once you run out, you buy more.
So they're not assigned for a game. It's literally just vouchers that are good for one ticket into any game of your choice. So if
and it's a box seat. So and they say where do you want to sit box seat wise, and I always say by the Bay Sox bullpen.
Nice.
40 people just closed out of their Spotify tab.
What's that?
I know, right? I know. This is such dog shit content right now. We're just going over the
If you closed out, then fuck you. We don't want you anymore.
They already closed out. They didn't hear you say that.
It's gone.
Well, they'll come back.
Unsubscribe, Brad.
So all of this is to say the Birdie Boys will be at probably Bay Sox opening day and O's opening day.
Except Josh, because Josh is a noob that lives in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Sorry, I'm not driving 6 hours for a minor league game.
Whatever, dude.
I'll do it to see the 100 loss O's, though.
Yeah.
That's different.
Whatever, dude. Like,
sure.
Fuck off, man. Fuck off, man.
Okay, so some things have happened since the lockout ended. I would say none of the really big free agents have signed yet. I kind of feel like they're all waiting for another to sign. That's usually kind of what happens.
Carlos Rodon did sign with the Giants.
I am not calling him a big free agent.
He got 22 mil a year, so I mean, that's...
I know he had a good year last year and earned himself some money, but I'm not calling him one of the big free agents. But yes,
Kershaw.
He's a decent sized free agent. You got to give him some credit, bro.
Okay, fine. Big free agent Carlos Rodon signed a fucking 2-year deal with the
That's
Giants.
what I'm talking about, bro.
Christ.
That's what I'm talking about.
You guys are ridiculous.
Dude, I'm going to be real about you guys or something. You guys didn't want me to eat before a podcast, but I found this granola bar, and I'm going to chow down on it. This is great content right now.
Mute your mic, please. If you even know how to do that.
Maybe I do. I got it.
Okay.
20 more people just closed out of the Spotify.
No. Shut the fuck up, Josh.
I'm just telling you what the stats say. I could see it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, the elephant in the room is we haven't actually had a chance to talk about this, is the Carlos Correa to Baltimore rumor. It was, I believe, just at the very end of February, a reporter for the Baseball Writers of America by the name of Raul Ramos posted a story basically saying that right before the lockout was initiated, the O's made contact with Carlos Correa in his camp, and he went on the record with the Glenn Clark radio show and actually had breakdowns of the salary that they had supposedly offered him. Seemed like it was very front loaded, a lot of money in the first couple of years of the deal. But it all ended up figuring out to be like, I think, a 10-year deal. 350 million, I believe, was the
That's
number.
about right.
Yeah. It has not been corroborated by, any of the big name reporters that anybody goes to, like Ken Rosenthal, Bob Nightingale. Ken Rosenthal's he's not doing it anymore, right? He got fired.
He still does it. He just doesn't work for the Athletic, or no, for ESPN anymore.
Okay.
Or MLB Network. Or
but
whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff Passan, the go-to guys, the go-to guys of Major League Baseball rumors. But, at the same time, they also haven't discredited it. So I see a lot of negativity about this on Twitter. It's so weird to me. Number one, a lot of people, I think, are just having fun with it. But I also see no reason why they couldn't be in on him. I know that people got a little upset when Elias was asked if, they'd be in on any of the free agents, and he pretty much said no, but he's not going to say, yeah, we're going to be in on them, because that just gives leverage to the agents in negotiations, because if he publicly says he wants to, sign one of them, then they're going to push hard because they know that they want him. So
he's got a reputation to uphold as someone as a good GM. So
yeah. So I'm enjoying everyone having fun with it. I'm enjoying all the edits and all of the, replying to every Orioles tweet saying announce Correa. I think it's fun. If nothing else, it's just, something that gave us a little hope. And if he doesn't sign with the O's but that contract offer was true, then I don't think there's anything to be upset about, because they're putting it out there.
I mean, what do we expect this offseason anyway? I don't think we expected an offer to Correa, even if he doesn't sign. Like you said, an offer alone is just, I think that says a lot more than what maybe a casual fan would see, but that's a huge step for a franchise that I think Elias has only signed like $10 million worth of players since he's come in. So
yeah. So it's a signifier, like that they're ready to take that next step. It's an official statement that we're moving on. We're done losing on purpose. Let's get this shit together. Let's get it going. I've said it before, I made it my shtick on this podcast to mention Carlos Correa to Baltimore like every episode that we do. But I think it makes a lot of sense. And, all the old O's fans that still think Peter Angelos is calling the shots, which he hasn't for years. I don't know why we still think that Peter Angelos is doing anything but signing checks these days. But, they think just because it's the O's, it's a foregone conclusion that it won't happen. And I think if John and Lou Angelos are going to have a cheap, reputation, they haven't even had a chance to earn it yet. So I see no reason why we should assume that they're going to be cheap. Even when their dad was in charge, during the years that the O's were good, we had a top 10 payroll. Yeah. We were paying people money. A top 10 payroll in baseball, guys. That's not nothing. Yeah, they've cut salary because what is the point when you suck? If you're going to suck, why not pay less people to suck? Now, some people, even you, Josh, I think would say that they took it a little far in some scenarios with the cost cutting. And, I get it. I understand it. But I also think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes. I believe that they redirected some of those resources into stuff like that facility in the DR to, hopefully be a draw in this international market. How many star players do we have now that were just at one point, nobody international signings?
Yeah.
You got to dip your toe in that market. And I am completely taking over this episode. So somebody please talk.
Yep. I'll chime in right here. So any podcast that has three fucking morons that just agree with each other on everything is kind of a boring podcast. So we're all about diversity of opinion here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But I will say,
please prepare to mute him, Josh.
I will. In our group chat, what we addressed, you said, listen, I understand that you are pissed off about the Jordan Lyles signing, but when you have a chance to get a guy like Carlos Correa, you got to do it.
You know what? I think that's a word for word quote. I'm impressed.
It is.
That was like last week.
It is. So it's not really this. It's not at all the same thing to me, because here's my thoughts on that. Everybody, when they make sports takes, always has an extreme take one way or another. Like, this guy's the worst player ever, or this guy's the best player ever. Jordan Lyles actually might be one of the worst pitchers ever. So that's an extreme take. Carlos Correa, no, I don't think Carlos Correa sucks at all. He absolutely makes the Orioles better. What my hesitancy is on him, no, I wouldn't be pissed if they sign him per se. I am hesitant about it because at that price range, I'm worried that they'll have an opportunity to sign even better guys. Carlos Correa, by the way, the stat that worries me, he was 34th in MLB and OPS last year, which is good. He's a really good player. Do I want to pay $350 million a year for 10 years for a guy who was 34th? I kind of would like to see if we could have a chance at a guy that's a little bit better than that.
Now,
Carlos Correa absolutely helps the team out. I'm not denying that. You guys,
how long are you going to wait? I mean, you're not going to get these opportunities all the time.
No.
If you have the opportunity, you have to try. I mean, unless it's next year's free agent class, like, does it nuke this one out of the water? I didn't think so. So no. And that contract is, if Mr. Ramos's report is true, that contract is really front loaded. So yeah, you're paying Carlos Correa a shit ton of money, but at least in that scenario, you're paying him that money while he's probably producing at a high level for you. So when he's 36 or something, 37 at the end of this deal, he's probably not making that much anymore. And, it's not our money. So
no, it's not our money, but the point that I'm making is, would it potentially prevent us from signing someone that's even better than Carlos Correa in the future?
No.
So you have to simplify it even more to the value of the shortstop position. You said, what did you say, 34th in OPS in baseball? Is that what you said?
Last year, yeah.
Last year. How many shortstops were above him? I don't need you to go look at that.
That's actually a good question. Yeah,
it can't be many, if any. The value of the shortstop position in the modern day is, you can't understate it whatsoever. Who knows what shortstop's going to be for the Orioles based on the current prospects we have? Sure, you could throw Westbrook there. Sure, you could throw Gunnar there. Who knows, though? Those guys aren't guarantees. Correa's been here since 2014, I think, or something like that, drafted by our GM himself. He's produced at the highest level for most of a decade now, getting there.
He's won a World Series.
Yeah, won a World Series.
Yeah,
And he's played in what, 4 of them?
He's in the ALCS the last 5 years. So, I mean, that's the kind of mindset the Orioles do not have anywhere on the roster. Like,
the dude knows what it takes to win.
He's won a World Series, but that's like an intangible, like fake ass bullshit thing that I don't think so really
I'm not saying it makes him a better player that he's been part of a World Series team, because it's a team sport. The idea of using championships to argue one player or the other is so dumb in a team sport. But I'm saying
especially baseball,
yeah. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because we've talked about it before. It's about the culture, and right now the O's don't have any winners. None of the guys on this team know what it's like to win. They don't know what it takes to win because they've never been there.
And that's not to say like Trey Mancini's a bum. He hasn't been there. He hasn't seen it.
Right. Yeah. Correa's been there. He's been there. Like you said, the ALCS the past 5 years, won a World Series. He's got all the tools. If you're going to sign anybody to a long deal, and especially in this one, it should be this guy. He's 26 years old. Baseball players play till he's 26.
27 maybe.
Yeah,
I'll double check that.
He's definitely not 28. I think he might be 27, but I think he's 26.
I'll double check.
The point is, he's a young player. He's still got plenty of prime years left. And yeah, the contract probably won't be worth it in year 7 or year 8. But if getting Carlos Correa now makes this team significantly better right now, and it also gives you the opportunity to take some of those prospects that you had kind of slotted to be your next shortstop of the future, whatever, and it lets you send them somewhere for elite starting pitching.
27.
Right.
So that's my case for it, Brad. I know what you're saying, man. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I don't understand where you're coming from.
No, I do. Get it. I said, I
it.
completely agree that Carlos Correa makes us a better team. And the idea is being as good of a team as possible. It's just long-term range. That's my hesitancy. If he fucking signs, great. I'm all on board. Like, go Carlos Correa. Hope he wins the fucking MVP because I want what's best for the Orioles. It's just that's what makes me a little nervous. The fact that I feel like there could be free agents in the future that, we can't sign him because of the Carlos Correa contract. And he's a really good player. Is he a top 10 player in baseball? I wouldn't go that far, but he'd certainly help the team. And the other thing that we discussed was, my opinion on it is you can pencil in Carlos Correa as an easy top 3 hitter on the Orioles for the next 4 or 5 years or so. And you said he'll be the best player on there, but the best hitter on the team by far. Well, my take on that is, Cedric Mullins had a better year than him last year. Ryan Mountcastle easily could. Adley Rutschman easily could. So is he far and above the best hitter if we sign him? I'm not sure if I go that far, but he's certainly out there and he would help the team. I agree with that.
Those guys aren't playing shortstop, but I mean, when are you going to find another player with a track record as proven as this? I mean, he's a 7-WAR player when he plays 140 games. And any team in the anyone in the future who has a similar track record is going to demand this exact same kind of contract where it's a lot of risk for the team, a lot of years, and a lot of guaranteed money for the player. Guys like Tatis are already locked up for the next 13 years or whatever. I mean, these guys don't come around that often. And when they do, and you see the window that kind of lines up with your competitive window, such as the Orioles for the next 5 years, it's not a bad idea to consider pulling the trigger on it. And it could be a great decision for the O's.
Tatis is locked up for the next 13 years. You're right. But how old is he? What is he, like 22?
22.
And Correa is like 28, and we're talking about locking him up for the next 10 years. I don't know. I see the viewpoint you guys are coming from. And like I said, I am not arguing that he doesn't make the team better. He certainly does.
You're just not as all in on it as we are. That's pretty much it.
I'm hesitant. That's all. I don't dislike him. I would obviously fucking root for him. I'd probably buy a fucking Correa jersey too if they got him, because I have no choice but to root for him. But it makes me a little nervous. That's all I'm saying. I mean, so I would love to hear what everyone else thinks about this. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, some of these contracts do get ugly at the end, but there's also a lot of benefit to having them for that first half of the contract. That's really what you pay for. I mean, like it worked out like last year, for example, the Nats and Scherzer, like that's one of the best contracts of all time. Like it worked out for both team and player. That doesn't happen all the time, but I think in a situation like Correa, and we've seen it with Harper and Machado, the way they're performing in their first half of the contracts, I know they got a lot of years left, but you're still seeing that same performance, and that's what they're paying for. Really, they're not paying for a 37-year-old Correa because no one in their right mind would sign if say whatever to a 1-year deal at that time in his career. They're not getting him $30 million, but you're paying for that first half of production.
Yep. And it's, it's your goal is to win a championship. And if Carlos Correa helps the Orioles win a championship, I don't give a shit what they're paying him when he's 38. I really don't.
Look, if we won a championship with Carlos Correa, then you guys can tell me, and he wins World Series MVP, I will more than gladly eat crow, and you guys can tell me how much of a fucking moron I was when I was hesitant about it.
No, I'm not going to say that because your viewpoint is it's rooted in logic. So I'm not going to diss your viewpoint. I will diss to some of the people on Twitter that I see that are actively rooting against the O's to sign this guy. You know who you are.
I'm not going to go that far. Like, I'm not going to be furious if they sign him. Like, I'm just hesitant. That's all.
You know who you are. You're a moron. So yeah, I mean, is out there. Supposedly today, his value seems to be dipping a little bit from what I've seen today. One guy even went as far as to say he has no idea where Carlos Correa would get $300 million from.
I don't see that.
Huh?
I don't see that.
You mean you think he's still definitely going to get a contract in that range?
Oh yeah,
I do too.
I don't think anything under 350 gets it done, unless it's like shorter term. But I think he's looking for 10 plus years, 350 plus, and I think he'll get it.
Yeah, I think anywhere from 300 to 350 is what gets it done. If it drags on though, the lockout is really going to benefit the teams in this scenario because the player's going to need to get into training. I mean, I'm sure he's been working his ass off. I'm sure he's not been, sitting around eating taquitos, but he's going to need to get into training. He's going to need to get into game shape and get ready for the season. So this is not a typical off season. We lost 100 and some days where they couldn't talk to each other. And I'm sure a little tampering still happened. I guarantee you some GMs and some agents just happened to run into each other at a Starbucks. Little wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on there. But yeah, I think it's going to work for the teams. And if it gets down to it, he may end up taking a little less money, but I don't think it goes below 300. Like you were saying, Josh.
No, and I think like guys like Corey Seager, that's who I'm thinking of. Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Javi Baez have already signed. They were the three other big ones. I mean, Trevor Story's still out there, but Lindor got extended. Yeah, I'm talking shortstops mostly, but the shortstop market is vastly reduced. And I don't know if that could help him or not, because some of the big teams that were going to be on him are out now because they've signed one of the other options. But those teams like the Yankees, who desperately need a shortstop, are going to be outbidding other teams like that for the same exact person.
I actually heard John Heyman today more or less shut down Correa to the Yankees.
I believe it. I think they'll be more interested in Trevor Story because they're going to try to save that little bit of money because they are well over the luxury tax.
Mm-hmm. They also have Judge coming up.
Right. That's a big decision.
I'm sure they're thinking about that. If the Yankees, I'm David Ortiz over here.
Very true, though.
If the Yankees are smart, they will give serious thought to letting Aaron Judge walk.
I mean, right fielders are a little easier to come by.
They're a dime a dozen. Judge hits tanks, and that's about all you can say for him.
He's a pretty good defender. I mean, he's still a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, his injury history, his positional value, and like I think there's other guys that provide similar value.
Sure. So wouldn't be surprised if they extend him, but I also don't think it's a lock that they would keep him around because there would definitely be concerns there if it was me. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Correa, man. Until I see him signed with another team, I'm still gonna have hope because it's fun. Sports are about fun.
Absolutely.
And if you would rather sit there and be a little crybaby bitch and say, the O's are never gonna sign Carlos Correa, and you're all wasting your time. Well, that's great. Why don't you crawl back onto your fucking rock, you boring, sad, miserable bitch. Yeah, let's move on a little bit from Correa stuff. Today, the O's signed 37-year-old backup catcher Robinson Chirinos.
You know who got excited? It's me, because it's a backup catcher.
The backup catcher specialist. Here he is.
On the Talking Birdie Just a Guy scale, Chirinos is soaring off the charts.
Absolutely, dude.
He signed for 900. You put 500K here, Josh. He signed for 900K.
Okay.
Oh my god, I shouldn't find that as funny as I do, but just a guy charts. Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we got Chirinos. He's a veteran backup guy. He's clearly being signed to be Adley's backup. I can't believe there's people saying that they think they're signing him to block Adley.
Oh my god!
Someone said that. That was a serious take.
I can never tell with some of the people in that chat if they're being serious or not. So maybe
not.
My god. Maybe not.
Chad is not serious if that's something.
Yeah. But so we got our backup catcher on the roster. That's good. It's a good thing. I have no issues with it. Before the lockout, they were rumored to be in on Roberto Perez for that role. Roberto Perez signed for $5 million. They signed Chirinos for $900K. You can't be mad about that.
Yeah, we talked about that in the group chat, and as we've alluded to, or at least I've been of the opinion, and Ryan's pretty much agreed with me. Josh is more of a diehard backup catcher guy, but every team has a spot on the roster for generic backup catcher.
Mm-hmm.
He can't hit for shit. He's pretty good defensively, which who cares? Like even the starting catchers are pretty good defensively too. So it's pretty much just a drop off to a guy who can't hit very well. So the options were bring on Roberto Perez for $5 million, who is, as you said, just a guy, and Robinson Chirinos for $900K, who is, as you said, the same exact person, just a guy. So giving them the $900K, just a guy.
And Pittsburgh outbid
Basic
us.
math.
Pittsburgh outbid us because they're looking for a starting catcher. They traded away Jacob Stallings, and they ended up needing the starting catcher more so. Perez is slightly better than Chirinos, but at the end of the day, just the guy. Brad said hasn't been a great hitter, as Brad said. Decent defender. He does have a little pop in there, a couple seasons over 15 homers, and take that with what you will. Last one was in 2019. But I think he was working through an injury last year, and I don't know, another competition for backup catcher, I guess. Like Jacob Nottingham was someone we signed early in free agency.
He also hit a massive tank in Game 4 of the World Series when they played the Nationals.
Yes.
So
yeah,
Robinson Chirinos likes to do damage to the Walgreens Expos down the road, so that's good for me.
Also an Elias guy, I think.
Of course he is.
I don't know, actually, because 2019 Houston, I guess at the start of the year, he would have been an Elias guy, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. So something weird just happened on Twitter. Never mind. I don't know what's going on. Never mind. Forget I brought it up. Brandon Klein's just being weird on Twitter. Don't worry about it.
Former baseball player Brandon Klein.
Yeah.
Brandon Klein, if you're listening, we could use you on our slow pitch softball team.
Jeez.
Hit me up, bro. DM me at KU Brad Wando.
We have to get this out of the way. It unfortunately did come to pass. Jordan Lyles is
cover my ears. Fuck that guy, dude.
His contract was made official today. It is a 1-year deal. Brad, you're gonna love this, with a club option for 2023.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
He's gone.
No. 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 Oh my God, man.
I wish I was just kidding, but I'm not.
I think he had a club option for 2024 too, didn't he?
No, it's just 2023.
I might need to step aside for a second to handle this whole thing, guys. Motherfucker! God damn. God, what the fuck, dude? That's such bullshit, man. I thought
That'd be the clip. That's gotta be the clip for this episode.
That just ruined my night, man.
You knew this was happening. This was like official, like
No,
3
yeah,
months.
yeah. I knew that we were fucking signing him, but I didn't know there was a fucking club option for 2023. Fuck. No!
I'm crying. Oh my God.
I muted him.
Oh God. Okay. Let's get the train back on the rails, boys. Okay. So Jordan Lyles under contract for next year. I believe his contract ended up being $5.5 million. So it's a little bit less than the original reported $7 million. So I guess that's good. But, you know, we've had this discussion before. It's kind of a nothing signing. It doesn't make sense. All he's going to do is take innings from a younger guy who deserves it. So I'm not sure what the logic is here. Maybe they're hoping that he pitches well and they can flip him. But outside of that, I'm kind of confused by this signing.
Yeah. Off-brand Chris Ellis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is. I like we discussed earlier, like as much as I dog on Chris Ellis, give me Chris Ellis on a minor league contract over Jordan Lyles for that much money, because Chris Ellis on a minor league contract that makes the big league roster is so much more likely to be cut or DFA'd, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lyles is going to be here a while. Like, they're not going to fucking eat that money.
Yep.
That's the most infuriating part of it to me.
Yeah. Just need him to not take away Gray Rat innings or even like as far down as like Dean Kramer innings, because I think those guys are worth more of a shot. We have done Jordan Lyles at length on this podcast, so we don't have to delve too deep into it.
But you guys got raw emotional reactions out of me, so.
Well, we're also gonna add in that Brad has had a few alcoholic beverages.
Listen, it's conference championship tournament Saturday. Roommates and I have been having a good time, but you know, the Jordan Lyles thing really puts a damper on all of this. So
yeah, it's okay, bud. It'll be all right.
Yep.
Be okay.
Yeah, it'll be all right. Except for when the days that Jordan Lyles pitches.
Yes, then it will not be good. What if
he pitches? Good news.
What if he pitches on opening day?
No, don't say that.
There's no way. There's just no way. There's no way.
Don't say that.
It just doesn't make sense.
John means torn labrum or some shit. Jordan Lyles gets the call.
Well, John Means will be starting in Tampa on opening day.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. When you put it that way, holy fuck.
Lyles will definitely be the 2 starter, so I'm not that worried. But what are we gonna see?
Mike Baumann, maybe.
If we're lucky. I mean, Jordan Zimmerman. I mean, Bruce Zimmerman's probably taking game 3.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Keegan Aiken. It could be Spencer Watkins. There's some unholy names in there.
Even though we still had Spencer Watkins. Spencer Watkins is ass too.
I believe they re-signed him to a minor league too.
But at least he's not getting paid fucking. What the final number is $5.5 million. You said,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So Spencer Watkins, he's probably just as much trash as Lyles is, but he's not getting guaranteed money. So I mean, whatever. But
It's not your money, Brad.
it's not. But you know, you're what people need to understand. I explained this months ago on the podcast. The reason that it bothers me is because I know that he's blocking younger prospects we have in the minors who we could at least evaluate them. And if they came up and they struggled, then we can send it back down, pull somebody else up. At least, we know we're getting to see some results out of it. Jordan Lyles, we know, is a complete ass pitcher, and he's pretty much guaranteed to be here almost all of the entire fucking season
because they're not going to want to eat that money by cutting him.
That is why I'm bothered about the money. It's not my money. It's what the money means.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yep.
And we talked about how consistent he is with like pitching a lot of starts every year. That's a little disappointing as well.
Why the fuck has he been in the big leagues this long?
For this exact role.
I don't get it, man.
I don't think he's ever had a playoff appearance.
Oh, but we need innings eaters. Shut the fuck up. Like, anybody can eat innings. Innings eater is the fucking term for scrub that's a placeholder on a shit team that, they don't want to pull guys up for the minors yet. But we have guys that are worth fucking evaluating over him. And that sucks. And the fact that there's a club option leads me to believe they're probably just going to fucking pick it up. So I'm now mentally preparing myself for 2 years of Jordan Lyles eating complete and utter shit.
No, I 100% expect them to decline that option. I don't think so.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right, but
we'll see. And you guys will be crying when I'm riding Jordan Lyles to fantasy victories all year. So
yeah, let me join your fantasy league, please. So
I won't hold my breath.
Fun fact: he's a negative 2.3 WAR player in his career.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Yep.
All right. Well,
let's end on the good note.
Yeah, that got off the rails a little bit. You see,
I'm sorry, guys.
Josh, do you see why I switched the order of those notes?
I do.
I didn't want to. I knew that was going to happen. I didn't want to end on that. No.
My roommate's gonna be asking me tomorrow why they're gonna be screaming
downstairs. It's gonna be sign Jordan Lyles. What do you want?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck, dude? Do you not give a fuck about anything? Like,
that's gonna be the funny part right there. Is gonna be when they find out why. So to end on a little bit of a good note here, we found out last week that Kevin Brown, gonna be our boy Kevin Brown, friend of the pod, is gonna be the full-time TV man. They look like they're forecasting him to be doing roughly, I think, 120 games, which is fantastic news. Kevin Brown's the man. He's a great broadcaster. He's just fun to listen to. He's a great dude. Him and Melanie Newman. Melanie hasn't officially confirmed it yet, I don't believe, but him and Melanie reportedly signed multi-year extensions with Masson. So that means we're going to be seeing a lot of Melanie as well. She's great. As we know, she does a very good job in the booth. She has a great voice for broadcasting. And as we know, she was part of the team last season that made history in becoming the first all-women broadcast team to do a baseball game in Major League Baseball. So congrats to Melanie, congrats to Kevin. I think I speak for most people when I say we're very happy that they're going to be sticking around for a while.
Yeah, go check out Ryan's interview with Kevin, episode 5, I think.
Yeah, it's back there a little ways. Anybody who has come on recently, I interviewed Kevin Brown by myself in episode 7 of this show because these two chuckleheads were not available. So rather than not be able to talk to him, I just did it.
Sorry for having hobbies, Ryan.
It's okay. I don't need your excuses, but it's fine. But it was fun. It was a great conversation. And check it out if you haven't heard it yet. It's fun.
I just can't believe we threw you into a high profile interview after you've never done it.
Actually, didn't you interview him at some random ass time during the workday? I think that's why we weren't in on.
Oh yeah. It was
Yeah,
because it's because I was at my old job and I had off every Friday, and Kevin was like, "How about
That's why.
How about
Yeah.
10 a.m. on Friday?"
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay.
That's what it was. Yep.
He was broadcasting like a University of Houston basketball game tonight or
He's
last night.
multi-talented, man. He does softball for ESPN as well.
Yeah, he's incredible. I'm glad we have him secured for the future. The dynamic between him and Palmer is it's the best one on Masson. One of the better ones you'll see. He's great. Same thing with Ben McDonald as well. And we all love Melanie. So they're all familiar with each other. No new faces. I don't think anyone like hated Scott Garceau as a person, but he was not meant for TV. So I think he will be taking a radio role and maybe a few broadcasts, but it's the role of Scott Garceau in 2021 is Kevin Brown's role in 2022. And that's a beautiful thing.
And thank God for that.
Yeah.
Look, and I don't want to dog on Garceau too much because I think he does a good job. He does a very good job with the sports talk radio format. He's not very good at play-by-play. So
it's actually pretty funny seeing like when someone posts like an O's clip of any kind of highlight. Like for example, today it was the Austin Hayes inside the park home run against the Phillies in 2020, and like seeing people be like, I've never seen such a lack of energy in a call for an inside the park home run. Just for people who don't know Scott, people aren't familiar with it, so it's very funny to see that. But that's gonna about wrap it up. We went for quite a while tonight, but it was fun. We let out some frustrations. We aired some grievances, and we had a good time. So thanks everybody. I hope you made it this far. I hope Brad's banshee yelling didn't scare you off. But if you made it this far, thanks for being here, and we look forward to talking to you guys again in next week, I guess. I don't know. This is going to be next week episode, isn't it?
We'll probably be back to weekly episodes. I think we got
very
stuff
soon.
happening.
Yeah. We can do that. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. As always, follow the show. Oh, hey. My roommates just came home and scared the bejesus out of me. As usual, follow the show at Podcast Birdie. Follow me, Ryan Set 094. Follow Josh at Out of State O's, and follow Brad at KU Brad Wandell. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.